Hello everyone, this is Eddie the Magic Monk. Today I'm going to investigate how to solve harder matrix equations. Okay, so before we start, just want to remind you guys a couple of simple matrix properties. And the first thing is that any matrix multiplied by the identity matrix is equal to itself. Okay, so let A be a matrix, right? A matrix A multiplied by the identity matrix, if you've forgotten, identity matrix is just 1 down the leading diagonal and zeros everywhere else. And any matrix multiplied by the identity matrix will be itself. Now you can also multiply I at the front of the matrix and it'll still equal itself. Another thing I want to remind you guys is that any matrix multiplied by its inverse, which we've shown you how to find, is going to give you the identity matrix, and you can also multiply by the inverse at the front. It'll still give you the identity matrix. Okay, the third thing I want to remind you guys is that if you have two matrices, A and B are matrices. Okay, let A and B are equal matrices. A times B does not equal B times A in general. Okay, obviously the identity matrix is an exception, the inverse is an exception. Everything else, you can't assume that. You cannot assume that. Okay, so using this knowledge, let's try to solve a harder matrix equation. Let A, X, and B, and C be matrices. Alright, rearrange this equation to make X the subject. Right, so it's pretty similar to a linear equation where you rearrange something to make X the subject. So let's say the equation is AXB equals C. We want to rearrange it to make X the subject. So now let's multiply both sides by the inverse of A at the front. So let's do A inverse, right? AXB equals A inverse C. So now both sides we've multiplied by the A inverse. And now what's happening is the A inverse and A, they both cancel out to I. Right, as we've stated in the first law here, A inverse times A equals I. So that's gone. So it's now we're left with XB equals A inverse times C. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by B inverse. So multiply both sides by B inverse. And then B inverse, B times B inverse, that'll cancel each other out. So we're left with X equals A inverse times C times B inverse. Okay, so we're now going to use this concept to solve a harder matrix equation. Okay, so I'm now going to get you guys to solve for matrix X. So I'm going to put a matrix at the front. So 1, 3, 1, 2 times by X times by another matrix. Let's put 1, 1, 2, 1 and the answer equals, let's say, 29, 20, 22, 15. Okay, and I want you guys to find out what matrix X is. So this X is not a times symbol. Okay, we're trying to get you to figure out what is inside matrix X. So find that out and come back when you're done. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is find the inverse of the matrix at the front using the inverse formula. So I have 1, 3, 1, 2. Let's make this A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. And the inverse of that will be D and A switched around. The negative of B and negative of C multiplied by 1 over AD minus BC at the front. So I'm not going to show you the working out for that because that takes too long. So work that out yourselves. So the answer is negative 2, 3, 1, negative 1. Okay, and now what I want to show you guys is multiplying that on the right hand side. So we're multiplying this on the front of both sides. So I'm going negative 2, 3, 1, negative 1 multiplied by 1, 3, 1, 2 multiplied by X multiplied by 1, 1, 2, 1 equals 29. Oh, sorry, I need to multiply by this at the front as well. Negative 2, 3, 1, negative 1 multiplied by 29, 20, 22, 15. So I'm multiplying this matrix, which is the inverse of the first matrix, at the front on both sides. And now this matrix multiplied this should give us the identity matrix. So we can cross it out, change it to I. Identity times 1, 1, 2, 1 is equal to, and let's figure this one out on the right hand side using matrix multiplication. And the answer is 8575. So if you forgot how to do matrix multiplication, please have a look at our previous tutorials. Okay, now we don't need to write the I there because anything, I times anything is equal to itself. So now let's multiply by the inverse of 1, 1, 2, 1, whatever the inverse of that is. Okay, so 8575 multiplied by the inverse of 1, 1, 2, 1. Now I won't show you the working out for finding the inverse. Basically it's just using this formula. So then it's equal to X, because anything multiplied by the inverse is just the identity, so we can cross that out, change it to X is equal to, and let's put 8575 multiplied by the inverse of this matrix, which is negative 1, 1, 2, negative 1. And then our answer, if you use multiplication, will be 2332. Okay, so we have successfully solved this equation at the beginning. So X is equal to 2332. So if you wrote out this equation fully, you will get 1312 times 2332 times 1121 is equal to 29, 20, 22, 15. So if you don't believe me, have a go, type it all in, see if it works. Okay, thanks for watching guys, see you next time.